All right, so joining us once again, it's main event Muhammad. It's not Belal Muhammad, it's main event Muhammad, man. So another UFC headliner coming up, Belal. Special for you? I mean, it's still a big thing in your career, right?
Yeah, it's huge, man. To be a main event, the first time was a short notice fight, but now this time it's like more well earned. Where it's like now it's like people are more respectable of it. Like, yeah, he deserves it. He got this one now. He just beat two big names back to back. He deserves this main event.
That's a great point, man. I hadn't even thought of it that way. You deserved it the first time around, but as
Yeah,
you said,
there's haters anyway, no matter what.
but it is a big difference in terms of a full camp, right? I mean, in terms of just, I guess, maybe your own confidence and your own comfortability is actually having a full camp and preparing. Does it feel a little bit different to you this time around?
Oh man, it feels way different. Just because last time it was literally 2 week notice, and then you don't realize all the extra stuff you have to do, film crew and everything comes down, and you're like, yo, I got to cut weight, and they're like, oh, but hold up, we have to see you do this, this, and this. You have to take these pictures, talk this interview. So there's a lot more interviews and a lot more filming. So it was like way easier now. Where all right, now I can do that 5 weeks out, 6 weeks out, and don't have to worry about anything else when it gets close to the fight.
That's awesome. So last time you're just like, hey, can you just film me in the sauna? Will that be okay? Can we just do it all there?
Bro, it was like snowing in Chicago. They were like, yeah, we want to get you on the railroad tracks and like do shadow boxing. I'm like, bro, it's freezing. It's short notice. My calf is still swollen from my like, come on.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. The things that they make you do that they probably never even think about how inconvenient it is. It's so weird. I know it does that, and it cuts off the audio. It's the weirdest little side effect of this thing. So we'll just pick it up. I'll do a little edit. No problem. All right. Well, listen. I mean, look, this rematch, it makes sense in terms of the rankings, right? I mean, you look at the rankings right there. It's like, look, you two guys are kind of the names that are available. But I do wonder, I mean, is it a rematch you wanted? Like, is it something that you've thought about over time? Like, I got to get that one back. I mean, it wasn't really me the first time around. I need to get this one back.
Yeah, of course, man. Anytime, you get you lose a fight like that, I've always wanted that one back. But it's like you have to earn it back. It's not like if I would have fought him like 2 or 3 years ago, all right, but it would have been like it wasn't deserved. Like I feel like I earned this one back. I won 11-1 since that fight, 10-1 since that fight. So I feel like now it's a rematch that makes sense. Not like one of those, when a champion loses a fight and then it's like he gets the rematch right away, but it wasn't really a good fight. Then all of a sudden you got 3 back-to-back fights like the flyweights, and you're like, all right, some of these rematches are starting to become annoying. But I feel like this one's well earned. And like it's a rematch for me. It's like I'm happy about it because, to lose to somebody and then to see him still winning too, where he's still number 4 in the world. So like you always look at your opponents that you beat or you lose, and you're hoping that they continue on winning. So it's not like you're losing to a scrub or you beat a scrub. So the fact that he's number 4 and I'm number 5, we both been on the right track in our careers, and it makes a lot of sense right now. And yeah, I mean, the goal for me is to get the title shot. So it's like if I have to climb the ladder, that's all that matters. If I have to go through, like I said, all the numbers to get there, I'll do it.
Well, we know you will. All right, the first match. So I talked to Vicente, and he said, "Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of throwing the first one out. You know what I mean? The circumstances. It was so long ago. The reason Belal stepped in, he was preparing for somebody else. He's like, I'm preparing for a different guy. I don't even feel like that fight even matters. I guess from your perspective, do you feel that way as well? I mean, is there anything you take from that first fight that's benefiting you, or do you just say, man, we throw that out, and this is a whole fresh thing?
Yeah, honestly, for me, like people are telling me, like, oh, you need to get your revenge. Like, I don't even think about it as that. I think about it literally. I'm just a brand new fighter, and it's a whole new fight. It was so long ago, and I think that I've changed so much since then. And another big thing was for me was like I was more worried for the Wonder Boy fight where I was like stressed out about that because I'm like Wonder Boy beat Luque and he beat Jeff Neal and he beat them pretty handily, and I'm like I lost to both those guys. So why the fudge am I gonna fight Wonder Boy if he beat both the guys that I lost to? So that's like, what am I gonna do to him? And then it was like getting over that hump, getting over that hurdle. I think that gave me more confidence than anything else. And I think that made me feel like, all right, now this fight makes sense. I belong here with these top guys. I could get past that loss that I lost to Luque. It's like you still have it in the back of your head all the time. Like, all right, well, he's still up there. He hasn't fought for the title yet, so he's gonna get a title shot before me because he's beat me. But now, beating somebody that beat him, and now I get my chance to beat him. I think it all makes sense now.
Yeah, no question. I did want to ask you, I mean, you've always been open about the fact that you're okay with fighting during Ramadan. And I just kind of wanted to ask you, I guess, what the impact is. I mean, I guess for maybe for people that don't understand what you do during Ramadan, I mean, the fasting that's involved, I mean, does that make this more of a challenge or a difficult scenario? I mean, a fight of this magnitude, and then you've got to balance it out with the responsibilities of your faith as well.
Yeah, I mean, just being going through camps already during Ramadan, I keep telling myself I'm not gonna do it no more. I'm not gonna do it no more, like, because it gets hard and just cutting weight and losing weight, and I'm like, I tell myself that, but then I get the call and it's like I don't even really care about the date. I just say, all right, that's the name, that's the time, and I like the fight, and it's a main event. I'm like, bro, let's go. Then you go back, you look at the date, you're like, mother fudger, like why? And then I tell myself every single time I'm not gonna do it anymore. But like I said, man, I think that it just makes me stronger mentally, pushing through it. And the hardest part is just trying to maintain the weight, and especially now because like with my Maya fight last year, I had to go through 4 weeks during Ramadan, the whole month during it, and then like just maintaining the weight. This time it's at the end of the weight cutting portion now, so it's like just maintaining where I'm at right now and just staying healthy, because these last 2 weeks they're kind of like my last hard sparring day was yesterday, and I did it while I was fasted, so I felt okay and I felt strong. And then like after the first 2 days of fasting, like I feel like my body adjusts really well to it and makes me like people that like my teammates like, bro, you feel like you're even stronger. And sometimes, like I say, when you lose a sense, your other senses get stronger. I think it's something like that. I don't know why. But yeah, for me, it's just I've been through it so many times, and this is my last time for sure, though. So if Ali's watching this, Sean Shelby's watching this, no more.
I got a feeling they're going to send you a contract next year, and you're not going to pay attention to the date again, and you're going to take it.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, listen, Belal, you talked about you're trying to work your way to the title shot. Now, we know there's a lot going on in the welterweight division right now, but again, you take a look at the rankings. I mean, you guys are right there at the top. Are you viewing this as a number one contender match? I know the UFC doesn't necessarily always make those promises. They always like to say, well, we'll see what happens and we'll talk about it and all that. But personally, I mean, do you feel like this is a number one contender fight?
I mean, I would think so, but I think it comes down to this weekend and next weekend. So like these 2 weekends are like the biggest weekend for welterweight. I feel like obviously Khamzat against Gilbert's a huge fight. It's getting more headlines than the title fights, I think, and it comes down to whether or not how the fight goes. If Khamzat comes out there, finishes Gilbert Burns in the first round, I think he's going to skip over Leon Edwards. But it all just comes down to how he performs. If Gilbert comes out and wins, then it could be to the point of, all right, well, I'm not going to sit on the sidelines if Kamaru is fighting Leon and I end up beating Luque. I'm going to stay. I want to be on that card with him as well. So I'll be on the title fight card and just stay busy if I'm healthy. So for me, I think I'm going to have to fight one more regardless, just because the way these fights go. Khamzat got so much hype. If Gilbert beats him, Gilbert just beat Wonder Boy and Khamzat back to back, and it's like he takes all their hype. So it's like I still got to go through him one more time, I feel like. Or if Khamzat goes out there wins, it's the whole Nate Diaz-McGregor thing. You're taking everything I work for. I'm not going to let that happen. So then I have to go for him. So I think regardless, it's going to be one more fight and then a title fight after this.
That's a very realistic look at it. How do you feel about that? Because you said it. I mean, I was at the media day. Khamzat was laying out. He was saying, look, nobody wants to see Edwards and Usman. They want to see me. If I win, I should skip Edwards. I mean, you get the business. Like, you understand it all. I've heard you break it down. Are you okay with that? I mean, as a fellow welterweight, we see the hype. The numbers are definitely there. If he goes out and wins a fight of this magnitude, would you be okay with him skipping Leon? Or does that, like, frustrate you to say, like, come on, man, that guy has earned his spot there. And, as you said, he's taking everything he worked for.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but it's like I understand the game and I understand what's going to sell. And the UFC goes with the hype. Obviously, they want to get something pushed quick because you never know what's going to happen. Because if Leon ends up beating Usman, then they got to do that rematch, and then that puts Khamzat on the sideline again. And obviously, he's so hot right now. He has that McGregor-esque attitude about him that they want to get him in the spotlight right away. They want to give him the pay-per-views. Leon Edwards, he was at UFC London, and nobody even cheered for him. Like, nobody even knows who he is. And dude doesn't push himself. So it's like, you can't blame the UFC for that because, like, this, in the end, it's an entertainment business. Obviously, it's a fight business, but it's also entertainment. And they're looking for that next star with, stars like McGregor sucking. And, there's no other really big name. John Jones sitting out. So, like, you really need that next one. If Khamzat goes out there, dominates the Gilbert Burns, it only makes sense that, all right, this guy's undefeated. He's got all these finishes. He's Russian. He has that Khabib vibe. They want that new star for Abu Dhabi type thing. So I could see it. And like I said, it's not like it's not gonna bother me because for me, it's like I had to work for everything I got. Nothing was ever given to me, so I know that me thinking, all right, now I'm number 5 now it's gonna be easier to get the title shot. I don't think it is. I'm thinking now I have to go to 5, 4, 3, 2, and then maybe fight 1 and then get the title shot. And if I have to do that, I'll do that.
Respect. They can't hold you down forever if you keep winning. Well, let me ask you: Have you made the bullies big for this Khamzat Gilbert fight? Because I'm telling you, everybody's asking about it, and I'm torn, right? Because I look at Khamzat, and I think he is the real deal. I think he's incredibly skilled, but I look at like this betting line, and it's like people are just writing off Gilbert Burns. I mean, Gilbert's as tough as they come. I feel like the styles match up well. But I really do feel like, I mean, I don't think either result would really shock me. So what do you think? I mean, do you have a pick for this one yet?
Yeah, like literally people are just looking past Gilbert. So I'm like, bro, are you guys serious? He even rocked Usman. Like he has a big overhand right, big power in his hands, and he's not afraid to stand in there with you. And like even if you take him down, we've seen Maya on his back. We've seen Maya mounting him, and he got out of it and escaped out of it. So like, for me, I don't think it's going to come down to wrestling or grappling. I think it's going to come down to cardio. And I think if Gilbert just weathers that storm in the first round, gets to the second and third round, and we see what Khamzat really has, because, he comes out like a rocket in that first round. And I think that with all the hype behind him, he's going to want to try to get that first round finish. And he knows that there's a lot of pressure on that. And there's a lot of people watching, a lot of eyes on it. So I think that he's going to come out really hard. And if Gilbert, gets that, Gilbert gets in that ego mode where, all right, you're going to hit me, I'm going to hit you right back. He could get caught because Khamzat's a lot longer. Khamzat's a lot bigger. But I think if it gets into the second and third round, I think that Gilbert could actually win it. If it gets into the later rounds, I think it just comes down to how Gilbert comes out in the first. If he comes out in the first smart, circle a little bit, weather the storm, see what Khamzat's going to come with, feel his power a little bit. Don't throw it right back. Go to the second and third. You come out on top.
I'm intrigued, man. I love it. That's a great breakdown, man. I hadn't really thought about that, but you're right. We don't know if Khamzat can keep that pace up the whole time, right? I mean, he comes out gangbusters, but we don't know if he can keep doing that. So I'm really intrigued by this fight. A lot going on in the welterweight division. So I like the fact that you're saying, look, we got to see what happens. Then even you're saying, hey, I might have to fight again. So I guess talk me through it, man. What's the goal in your main event, man? I mean, we got to see what happens here, but then you got to make your statement, knowing that you're probably going to have to fight another time. Like, is it on your mind that I got to go do something special? I got to do something, that makes me stand out? Or is it just, let me get this win, let me keep my name right there in the mix, and the rest will come?
I mean, it's just, for me, it's more just earning more respect from the people and the fans. Cause it's like, I beat Maya and they were like, oh, well, he was old. And then you beat Wonder Boy, but everybody before the fight, Wonder Boy's going to knock you out. Everybody before the Maya fight, Maya's going to tap him out. But then when I beat both of them, it's like, oh, well, they're old. They're on the way out. Wonder Boy saying it wasn't really a fight. And I'm like, bro, all these guys coming up with these excuses. So now it's like, all right, now I'm fighting the guy that knocked me out, a guy that's young, a guy that's finishing everybody. So let me go out there, beat this guy. That should be statement enough. But, in this game, that's not enough. Like, you have to go out there and you have to dominantly win. And I think with these extra 2 rounds, these 4th and 5th round, I think having this, like you said, a full camp for a main event, I think that I'm really going to flourish in this fight.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure the doubters will still come out anyway. Obviously, Luque was never that good anyway, but this is a great fight.
Yeah.
All
He's
right,
too
man.
nice. He doesn't even talk trash. This is Kobe will still walk through him. And I'm like, bro, all right.
It is a match of like the 2 nicest guys in the division. I even asked him, I was like, are you going to have a hard time punching Belal in the face? You guys are both so nice. He's like, no, I'll punch anybody in the face. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like, bro, I had to go back from fighting Maya to fighting Wonder Boy. You can't talk trash to either one of them. You can't hate either one of them. Like, they're respected by everybody. And then beating them, fans just hate you more because they have such a big, high fan base. Now I got to fight another nice guy in Luque, who's like, helped me for the Wonder Boy fight. And I was like, bro, all right. Cool. And you got people telling me, bro, why don't you talk trash to these guys? And I'm like, dude, you can't. I'm not going to fake it. Like, if I were to fight a Kobe Covington, all right, I hate that guy. That guy's a loser. I could talk trash to that. It'll be real. Like, but to talk trash to somebody that really doesn't, who's really nice, it doesn't really make sense.
That's it, man. Well, 2 of the nicest guys and the best fighters in the division. They'll be meeting up on ESPN. So tune into that on Saturday night. Belal, I appreciate the time as always, man. Always a pleasure catching up with you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.